So did you just see his house?
The house is amazing, man.
Tell me some side story, because I know that you have a lot of side story about the house. So just just give us some information on that, please.
So, some backstory is my wife Kristen and I had lived in a tiny house in the woods in a tree house for about 3.5 years, and that one it was really in the woods, like you had to hike to get to it, and there was incoming plumbing but not outgoing, so it was composting toilet and stuff, and it was a really magical experience. But at a certain point, we were there was certain like comforts and stuff that we were wanting and weren't having. So we decided to move into like a 1,200 square foot house on this property in Swannanoa, that actually had a tiny house on the property already, and that one we also Airbnb that one. It's called The Nest, and we fixed it up somewhat and put it on Airbnb, and it kind of became this nice passive income thing. But we really wanted to recreate the magic of the treehouse that we lived in, and also my work, my passion in my profession is documentary photography, and so storytelling is just kind of what I do and the lens through which I see the world. So with this house, we wanted to really make it all about story, and with photography even, I feel that there's kind of this gap between the experience that I'm having when I'm making the images and then the experience that the viewer's having. There's a certain gap there. They're not there's nothing that an image can do that can fully convey the emotional experience of actually being somewhere. So I wanted the nook to be that actual experience that people can come have, rather than just kind of living vicariously through an image. Here, the same stories are being told through my images. In fact, a lot of the collaborations that I used, the makers and artists that I collaborated with, are people I met through photo projects. So there's a lot of info from the photo project side. And so I'm telling some of the same stories, but in this case, people can actually come be in the space and live in it and have an experience for themselves.
Absolutely. And is this in North Carolina?
Yeah, it's just outside of Asheville in like a little rural pocket. Really great little area, because it's only about 15 minutes from downtown Asheville, but it does feel like you're really out in the woods and pretty rural. So,
yeah. Is the rental, because it's on Airbnb as well, is the rental now open, or is still still on pause with COVID-19?
Well, we had it totally shut down, and we just this week went into phase 2 of reopening of North Carolina, which means that we are able to open up again. We have our first guests coming this coming weekend. So obviously it's not going to be, we had a lot of bookings that canceled, and so it's not going to be the same, but and it's been nice too to have the space to myself. I just get to come down here and hang out. But and Kristen and I, we'll come down here and hang out and spend the night sometimes. But yeah, it's good to be kind of back in business somewhat again.
Yeah, I bet. And what's up with the swing? I mean, who came up with the swing idea? I mean, everybody loved the swing.
Yeah, the swing, that was me. That was my idea. I went back and forth with designers a bunch of times, and all their designs were really amazing. We were really excited about them, but I kept on wanting a little bit more of like this magical, whimsical effect. And there was aspects of that in the treehouse where we lived, where there was like this canopy net under the porch. It was built by like teenage boys, so they had this like trap door under the porch, and you can go down and hang out in this net. And I wanted something that felt like that kind of challenged people's ideas of what a space is or is supposed to be. Plays with the inside outside thing a little bit, because there's this huge window and a swing that you'd normally think would be like an outdoor swing. Yeah. So yeah, that was one way that we kind of captured that magical aspect. The other way I feel is when the design switched from one loft to 2 lofts, and I mentioned that in the video. I really feel like that created so many little nooks and pockets and individual experiences that you can have within a pretty small space.
Right.
Wonderful.
Well,
wonderful.
you hit it out of the park because
Yes.
swing.
Everybody loved that.
I like the simplicity of that swing. That's what I like about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, that is the thing, is like there's so many other things, like this breakfast nook that I'm sitting in right now is walnut with these ash little shelf pocket things. You know, it took weeks to do some parts of the house, and then the swing was like an hour. It was just really easy. I took a piece of ash that I planed it up and like tied the knots for the rope, and it was it was just really simple idea, but it's one of the most standout things in the house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So what do people do if they want to go and follow you? You have Instagram, Facebook, anything like that?
Yeah, Instagram is, we have a presence there. It's the Nook AVL is the Instagram handle.
As you can see.
And
AVL. Okay, very good. I'm looking at it on the screen. I'm thinking AVI, so I'm glad you shared that.
AVL is for Asheville, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, and that's a place where I'm really able to tell more pieces of the story. I mean, like, there's so many aspects of story in this house, and a lot of conceptual bits that tie in there's three main threads to the story. One is like the Western North Carolina creative community and telling the story of being an artist in this region. Another one has to do with personal history, and that's my photography stories kind of being incorporated into it. And then and also my parents' background, which is in Japanese food. They lived in Japan and learned how to make miso and started the first American miso company. And so there's a certain Japanese vibe and aesthetic, especially in the breakfast nook and in the tea loft.
Right.
Kind of inspired by that. And then the other one is just the ecology, and that's mostly told through the material. The materials, all the woods that you can see in the house, you can also see outside of the house if you look out the windows. And especially, I actually pair sometimes like a windowsill looking out at a tree of that same species. So it's kind of, and I'm trying to tell the story of the plants and trees that go into. I don't want to just think of them as materials. They're also these amazing living trees that offer so much more than just board footage. So yeah, especially black walnut. I mentioned that in the tour as well, that I tried to tell the story of black walnut through a bunch of different ways of using that material through the.
You did well.
Very
You're
well.
still very artsy.
Very
we
well.
love it. Well, thank you so much, Mike, for being with us today, and sorry for the difficulty trying to connect together. So
thank you.
I really appreciate it. Beautiful home. Thank you very much, man. Thanks
and
a lot.
people, book his Airbnb.
Yeah.
Whimsical.
Yeah. Go there. Take care. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Right. Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right. So next we got Mike back, but different Mike. This is Mike from Navigation Nowhere. I can hear you, Mike. Say something. Oh.
Can't hear you guys. Now we have the opposite problem.
Hang on.
Okay. Can you?
How about now? You can hear me. I was able to hear the last guest speaker, but I can't hear you guys.
Okay.
So I'm not too sure.
We are up. I can see our.
Fun though. I mean, we get to hang out still. It's kind of the same.
Hang out still. So.
Do you want me to just talk about the bus? I read some of the comments that were in the bus thing. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not too sure what some of the questions were that were about my school bus, but I did see one question about the storage boxes that were underneath the side. I guess I don't know if they were asking what they were used for or what they were. The boxes that are on the side are Northern toolboxes. And those are 6 foot to 3 foot boxes, and they're about 24 by 24 deep. I use them specifically to kind of keep all of my dirty stuff, as in like engine parts, tools, things like that outside of the bus, because I don't really want to keep any of that type of material inside my home. So the body boxes were a way for me to kind of keep it outside. And those are simply just mounted into the frame rails of the actual school bus. So buses have ribs in them, and it's just kind of squished up into there and then plated into that space. So they've been on there for a long time, and I don't think they're going anywhere, but they're definitely a great addition. And pretty much if you have a large school bus, they're pretty easy to install, and they're a pretty good idea in my opinion. Is there anything that through hand motions you guys can tell me what I should answer, or or I could just, I don't know, just talk about random things. I don't know. Here, I can go to the old live stream. I'm pulling up like 2 computers right now trying to play the old stuff. I'm having a lot of fun. Just so everyone knows, me and John and Finn, we talk on the phone all the time. So this is kind of the first time that we're not actually able to speak. But well, I guess while you guys are, if we can figure it out or not, I can go back through some of the questions. There's the one about the storage box. Did you fix that broken light? No. Whoever was asking, did I break the light? So inside my school bus, I have, you probably saw the 120 incandescent lights that are inside cages, and those are all running on a 120 system. And those, I didn't design them well 4 years ago. They weren't really well made on threads. I actually just glued them. Now I would actually probably thread them and use actual metal piping. I used plastic at the time, PVC, and they just keep breaking. So really they should just be replaced. So no, I didn't fix the broken lights on my bus that you probably have seen at festivals before. I should probably get on that. Let's see. The bathroom, my bathroom, the shower base is a 32 by 32 shower base. I don't know if you can go back to the old live stream and check the video if anyone who's currently watching didn't see it, but my bathroom has a full white tile subway bathroom with a 32 by 32 base. I previously had a Nature's Head toilet in there, which is a composting toilet. And then I recently switched it out for a dry flush toilet because my parents were actually living on my school bus traveling, and they didn't really feel comfortable with the whole composting toilet. They didn't really understand a bit of how it would function. So I decided to put a dry flush in, which is a toilet that collects in a bag, and then you simply can just dispose of the bag. So it's a little bit cleaner, but not exactly, a composting method or as sustainable. But for my parents, it worked out, so I switched it out. But besides that, the whole thing was designed to be wet. It's a wet bath, so it's really easy to clean, real easy to kind of take a shower real quick and do everything you need. The bathroom's not that big because, in my opinion, you don't really spend much time in there. It's like once a day, so I kind of tried to spit it all in the corner and then and kind of fix it up. And unfortunately, I can't see if anyone's asking questions currently, and I can't hear John and Finn, so I don't know if anyone is like, wait, go back to that, or can you answer that question again?
I can hear you.
That's really John just texted me. Okay, John said, oh wait, John said what? John, I'm just busy. John, oh geez. So John just texted me, why am I single? John, for you, I don't know. I think I'm just so passionate about what I'm doing that I just haven't really put much thought into other types of life and settling down. I travel consistently. I'm always building rigs around the country, and I don't know. I'm expecting you, John, to kind of be my best man. So I don't know what you're doing, but in the meantime, for you, I just have a bunch of build projects coming up. I'm working on quite a few things. I'm currently working on a short bus. So I had a 37 foot. Now I'm shrinking down to about a 20 foot. And I'm enjoying that process of building it. So if anyone's out there interested in building or figuring it out, I'm currently starting a new build series on my YouTube channel, kind of going through how I'm building the short bus step by step. So it actually just started. Actually, no, it didn't start. It's starting Tuesday for everyone. So you can go check that out and kind of get the info on that. And then, yeah, John's giving me the thumbs up. So I'm guessing that means everything's still good. Do you want me to answer any more random questions that I can't see? This is fun. I like this. We should do this more often.
I know, this is like, yeah, because you can't hear us.
What is your favorite color? My favorite color, believe it or not, is green. Who would have guessed? That is not what I'm painting the next bus, though. I'll tell you that much. I'm actually choosing a different color for the next one.
Oh.
I know Finn's got the face on, but no, I do like green. I like nature colors. I like being in nature, and the farther I can get into the woods, the better. So anything nature colored, I'm down for.
Okay.
I love that you're now texting me, John, for all the questions. Do you like long walks in the dunes on Cape Cod? I haven't been to Cape Cod in a few years, but I am sure that I would probably like long walks on the dunes in Cape Cod. I'm sure that sounds nice. We should probably just get in the bus right now and go. That sounds great. Oh man, I'm waiting for the next one to come in.
Yeah.
This is a great.
You
guys are always welcome. John wants to know if he can come. Yeah. I mean, I don't know with the current state of the world if you want to travel all the way up to where I'm at, but once we're all good and safe, you come on up here and we'll go to Cape Cod. Yeah, you can come on the bus. You can come on the bus. You could still fit. The little bus will still fit you guys.
You can still fit.
Oh man. Oh man. But well, if people are asking questions, I'm sorry I can't answer them. You can email me or answer them on my YouTube channel or send me messages on Instagram. I can get to them there. But yeah, I don't know our timeline or anything. I'm not even wearing a watch. I don't even know what time. We're done. We're good. We're good. That's awesome. Oh man, that was sweat off my brow.
Thanks a lot, Mike. We appreciate it.
Well, hey, thanks for having me, and I'll see you guys at the next festival. All right.
All right, brother. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye. That is quite fun,
that
man.
Was awesome.
That's awesome.
All right, so how's that for a live interview? He's up in upstate New York, I believe, up in the Catskills. We're down here in Georgia. We can see each other. I can hear him and through the YouTube channel broadcast that you all are seeing, but he can't hear us talking to him. So that was awesome.
That was awesome.
And there's a 17-second delay between what we're seeing on the screen with our guests and tours and what is going on the YouTube channel.
You know what? Yesterday I think we missed out on Felice, so we're gonna.
So next up right now is Felice Cohen. And Felice is, she's our good friend. Felice has been to a number of our events.
My name is Felice Cohen. I'm actually coming to you today from Cape Cod, not New York. I'm in my childhood home. In fact, I'm in my childhood bedroom closet. Now, I had 2 closets growing up, 2 walk-in closets that together were almost 90 square feet. So it's no surprise I actually lived in 90 square feet. So here's the closet. You can see hanging space, my dollhouse from childhood, clothes, everything's organized. So here I am talking from Cape Cod, and the reason I wanted to be in the closet was because this is where all the magic began. This is where I began learning how to organize. As a kid, I would take everything out of the closet, I would organize it, I would put it back in, and I would get rid of what I didn't want. I had no idea I would grow up to become I had no idea you could become a professional organizer. It was just something I loved to do. So fast forward 20 years, I'm living in New York City and I'm doing this, stressful job. And I wanted to finish writing my first book about my grandfather, who was a Holocaust survivor. And in order to do that, I had to quit my stressful job. I said, I'm going to give myself 1 year to finish it. And I found a tiny apartment, 90 square feet. And I moved in and I was able to do this. I was able to quit my job because the rent was low, which was the only reason I moved into this tiny apartment. And this was over 10 years ago. This was before tiny houses were a thing. There were no tiny TV shows. People just thought I was nuts. So I moved in and I planned to stay 1 year. And during that year, my life changed. My happiness got increased. My stress level went down. My expenses went down because I wasn't buying anything, so my credit card bills went down and I wasn't buying stuff because I had no place to put it. And at the end of that year, I said, well, I love my lifestyle. I want to stay another year. And I stayed another and another and another, and I stayed 5 years. And I loved those years. I learned so much. And during that time, a YouTube video went viral of me in my tiny space. And after that, I was inundated with emails from people asking for my advice on organizing and decluttering. And that's when I decided to write a book on that and how living tiny made my life larger. So that's what I want to talk about today, is how to prepare to either live tiny, or if you're living tiny, how to, make the space feel larger. And even if you live in a large space, how to clear out the clutter. Because it doesn't really matter what size space you're in. If you're inundated with clutter, you're going to feel claustrophobic. So When I work with clients, the first thing I ask is not what do you want to get rid of? It's what do you love to do? And then why don't you do it more often? And usually the reason is because of stuff. People have so much stuff. They have to work to pay for that stuff. They have to organize the stuff. They have to move the stuff, dust the stuff. So really it's about getting rid of stuff because, it doesn't really matter where you live. If your stuff is organized, if it's not that much, then it's not that bad. So here's 5 tips that I wrote down just to kind of think about what you can do to get rid of some stuff and how to prepare. Now it's spring, right? We're weeding in the spring cleaning. And the reason why we remove weeds is so the flowers can bloom and we can see them. The same is true with your closet or your stuff or your cabinets, even your Tupperware. It's about getting rid of the stuff you don't need. Get rid of that stuff. Go through it. Now that we're sheltered at home, we're seeing all the stuff. How many of you are wearing the same shirt every day? You can see my lobster shirt. I'm in Cape Cod. I've been wearing this shirt a lot, and then I keep wearing it, and I have all these other shirts. I've been getting rid of stuff every day in the bottom of the pile. What do you never reach? Do you never get to the bottom of your sock drawer? Start getting rid of that stuff. Another solution is going vertical. Just like I showed you these shelves here, if you can shelve out a whole wall, or it doesn't even have to be the whole width, the whole section, it can absorb a lot of stuff, which leaves you a lot of free space, which is great. It's going to make you feel like you have a lot of space to spread out on. The other is creating hot and cold zones. Hot zones are areas that are within reach where you keep mugs or jeans, and cold zones are farther away, harder to reach items like off-season clothing. Another thing is minimize appliances. I have a NutriBullet. I love the NutriBullet. It takes the place of a juicer, of a Cuisinart, of a blender, and it's efficient. It does a lot. It's great. And the last thing is multi-use furniture. A lot of these great tiny homes have a bench that opens up, and there are your sweaters. There are your linens. Maybe you have an ottoman at home. You can keep in a blanket or magazines or things you want to read. Well, I want to thank John and Finn for welcoming to another Tiny House Festival. This was my 21st, guys. So love you. Thank you again. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.
We adore Felice. The only question I have is that this is our 16th event and we've done 15 live events, and she said this was her 21st Tiny House Festival. That means she's cheating on us by going to 5 other festivals that aren't ours. I got a problem with this. No. Felice is awesome. We adore her. Actually, she reached out to us.
Yes.
And asked about coming to one of our festivals. So it was really awesome.
Yeah. So our next guest is Nikki. Nikki and Ben.
Hey, how you doing, folks?
Well, thank you so much, guys.
All right, good deal.
All right, so what time over there? You said 11 o'clock?
It's 11 o'clock. I thought it was PST. I'm sorry. Don't hate me.
No problem. And you are in British Columbia?
Vancouver Island. Yep.
Vancouver Island. Okay, very good.
Got it.
Well, we posted the Canadian flag. I hope you don't mind. We came to realize that all the different provinces and everything, everybody had their own flags. And I was getting a little confused, so I just posted the Canadian flag. Hope you don't mind.
That's great. That's great.
So, well, thank you very much. We really appreciate y'all coming and join us. So real quick, my experience with Canada was just business back in the day. What's the coolest thing about the area you're at? We love this about this area?
I'd probably say the rainforest.
The rainforest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just looking at pictures. Actually, I was showing my wife pictures of the redwoods and rainforest pictures just 2 days ago. And I'm like, babe, I got to get there before I check out. You know, I mean,
Are you checking out?
Well, if I have a choice, yesterday, but if you have a choice, never.
All right. Okay. We're going to jump into your tour quickly, and then we're going to bring you right back for the Q&A.
All righty.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
So we're going to go.
There we go.
And this is our 2017 Ford Transit called
Wilson. So we have a Ford Transit 2017 250, the tallest and the longest. and we love it. I'm going to show you around our van. Firstly, I'm going to tell you guys that this extension cord is here because we're staying at our friend's house and so it's plugged in, but normally we have solar panels that's how we get our energy. We have 3 100-watt solar panels that fuel into some crappy batteries that we have right now, but we're getting 2 100-amp-hour Dakota lithium batteries, which we're really excited about. If you want to see us install those batteries, keep an eye on my YouTube. Up here we have 2 lights. They're external lights. We have 2 in the back as well. This helps a lot for when dark camping night. This little vent here is our S-bar heater, and I highly suggest you guys get an S-bar heater. It's unreal for those cold nights. You can't see them here, but under the van we have 2 15-gallon water tanks, a fresh water and a gray water, and I highly suggest putting them under the van because they're mounted under the van because we have so much more space inside for clothes. The other lights I was talking about in the back, they're those 2 lights up there, so we have 4 total, and they're really awesome. We have an outdoor shower. The Gasland water heater, it works amazing, absolutely love it. And this is our shower head. Ben found and created the best way to hold our water tube thingy because there was nowhere to put it before, so it looks pretty good. And this is our garage. As you can see, it's a little bit messy right now, but there is so much space. There's space for a bicycle, there's a couple propane tanks down there as well, and there's 4 bins of clothes. I love clothes. I want all 4 bins to be mine, but 2 of them are Ben's. We keep the outside pretty boring because we want to be able to park anywhere. We do have 1 window on the other side, but for now, let's show you guys the inside of the van. Oh. I have many favorite parts of this van, but honestly, one of my favorite parts is this mirror. It's unreal. I just love it. This is another one of my favorite parts of the van. We cut a bunch of sticks into little cucumbers and I absolutely love it. So that's pretty awesome. And this is also pretty amazing too. We put jars up here. The lids are screwed into the top so they don't fall. None of them have fell so far, so it's been pretty good. This is our fridge and it runs 3 ways, so propane, AC, and DC. We've been running it AC and DC and we haven't really enjoyed it at all because it's been draining our batteries. So if you're going to buy a 3-way fridge, I would highly suggest using the method that is the best for that fridge. In other words, we need to be running this on propane, which is what we're going to install quite soon. Make sure you do your research because I kind of wish I researched a little bit more about this fridge or all the fridges because it uses a lot of power. But it is really big and we do love it. Look at all that greenery. Next is my sink. I got an 18-inch by 18-inch bartender sink and I actually love the size. It's great for washing pans, so I highly suggest that is a good size. It's not too big, not too small. And I got this faucet. It's beautiful in gold and it has this, which is amazing. And we're going to get a little puppy soon. I'm really excited about that. So showering him is going to be amazing in here. I love baking and cooking, so I knew I had to have an oven. So I got the Stand Sport oven and it's been amazing. We cook pizzas and all the stuff and it's been awesome. So highly recommend that one. It's really nice to have the spices accessible anytime, anywhere. I like spices so much that I have a bunch up here too. And we have our nice little cute wall to remember how much we like each other in times that we argue. No, I'm just kidding. So this is our storage under the sink. We have a basket. Honestly, we want to redo this entire thing, but I'll show you what we have now. So we have a basket that holds some face cloths and some cleaning supplies, garbage, and just like the normal water pump. Under here we have all of our pots and pans and the magic bullet and all that kind of stuff. Just the usual under the oven stuff. So we installed our S-bar after the entire build, so it was kind of tricky finding somewhere to put it. So we put it under this seat. It used to be my shoe cupboard, and now I don't have a shoe cupboard, and I'm really upset about that. So up here we have a bunch of our light switches. We have our battery monitoring system and our inverter switch. It's really great to have them above the door here, easily accessible. We love our battery monitor system so much because it tells us how much solar is coming in, how much energy we're using, and how our water tanks are and if we need to get some more water. It's been a blessing. So we got lots happening over here. So down here we have our S-bar switch, our carbon monoxide detector, a couple USB ports, and our 120 volt plugs. So if you want to get into any of these, you gotta use this guy so the drawers aren't like flying open everywhere. So this is how we open it. This is a cutlery drawer, super useful. Got another little cutlery drawer here too. And my favorite part of the van, the toilet. We do have the Nature Head toilet, and I understand it is kind of expensive, but it's my favorite part of the van because in times of need, it has saved us so many times. It's really easy to clean, and it doesn't smell like anything. So it's definitely the toilet that you need to buy. The last cool thing about this space is the desk. I got 27-inch sliders so that I could have 2 people here. I actually built this van when I was single, but I knew that I wanted a boyfriend, so I had to make the table long enough for 2 people. We've got one more door here, and we've organized it quite nicely. Just a bunch of random stuff, some towels, some electronics.
So now I'm going to tell you about some of the most important places in this van. The bed, very important. Got to have some good sleep. But our bed is a queen. We have a queen bed. It's very comfy. It's like a big, beautiful cloud, but a little bit too big. So we're probably going to cut it in a little bit. We may even drop the height because I don't really fit super well. But beautiful bed, really, really comfy. So up here, we have our cupboards. This is all of Nikki's clothes. This is much cleaner than it usually is. This is beautiful. She's done a great job. Really, really beautiful how she's stacked it all just for this video.
Excuse me. I stack it really nice all the time.
My cupboard, not stacked as well. Most of the stuff is just shoved in. I seem to dress a little bit like a cartoon character and I wear the same thing every day because it's easier. So up here we have a couple of these little sections that open up. These are our like socks and underwear drawer. We got 3 of those. Nikki obviously has 2 because it's her van. So we have 2 more cupboards up here. This one, pretty boring. We're not going to go through this very much because it's a bathroom cupboard. It's where your toothbrush and all that kind of stuff lives. You guys know what that's got in it. Pretty similar here. This is our pantry, our like kitchen dry goods, all the beans. Got to have some beans when you live in a van because that is easy to cook, easy to manage, delicious as well. Obviously some chocolate, but that's just our storage. Last but not least at all, one of the most important cupboards is our coffee cupboard, tea cupboard, cups, plates. Everything good in the world lives up here. So that's all that cupboard is. A couple of baskets in there as well to keep it organized. And what is behind this door, you might be wondering? Kidding, I'm not going to show you. It's an absolute mess. That's what happens when you live in a van. Sometimes the things that go in your house go up the front when you're not using that space. But we have this really awesome divider door, which has been very, very handy. Whether you're parking somewhere urban or not, it's really nice to separate the front from the back because it really helps to keep the van looking a little bit more stealthy from the outside as well. So in the van, we have a couple of lights. We've got some running down the center here and then these ones on the side. These ones change colors and not because we want to have a sweet rave in here, but it's really nice to have some like warmer orangey red lights at nighttime because that way your eyes don't want to stay awake. It's really good for going to bed. Our fan up here, we have a fantastic fan, which I don't recommend. It's not fantastic at all. We're going to probably replace this one with a Max Air fan because they're quieter and a little bit better performance. But for the most part, this one's been okay. It's done the job. We have a couple of extra lights. We have 3 just here in our kitchen, which is really nice just to be able to use maybe in the morning when Nikki's still in bed and I'm trying to make coffee and it's not too bright, but I need to be able to see. So it's handy to have separate lights on separate switches. So that's a really important thing to remember when you're building your van. The last little thing that's really nice about this van is the window. It's really good to have some extra light coming in, a little fly screen so the bugs don't get in, but extra light is a must. Plus, that way if you park somewhere nice, you can enjoy it while you're there.
Thanks so much for checking out our van. I hope you love it just as much as we do. If you want to check out my Instagram, I'm at Nikki Bigger, and my YouTube is Nikki Bigger as well.
And then mine is Ben War for YouTube and Instagram.
Bye!
With
All righty. That was great. Thank you.
it's beautiful. Beautiful, absolutely.
Thank you.
So a question: when you did you start with just the complete empty shell, or did you have to remove? Okay, so you got you didn't need to demo any of the inside, or
Completely empty. Yeah.
all right. And how long did your conversion take? I'm not meaning like, hey, then we upgraded this and then we changed this, but the first real major conversion, soup to nuts, you're moved in, ready to go. How long did that take you?
It took us 30 days with my family. We worked like slaves for 12 hours a day. It was crazy, but it took us 30 days.
Gotcha. Wow, 30 days.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Be hectic.
Amazing. We did the tiny firehouse in 30 days, but we had like a whole crew and everything. And
Oh, wow.
but it was just the two of you doing it in 30 days?
Well, it was mainly me and my dad, but then my brother and my mom would help on the weekends. So mainly
Still.
people.
Yeah, I wasn't there at that point. I lived in my own van before Nikki and I met. And when we met, I decided my van was nowhere near as beautiful, so I just sold it and moved in.
There you go.
How did you guys meet?
On Instagram, actually. Yeah. I was like, hey, what bed should I buy? And he was like, oh, you should buy this one. I'm going to sleep on it later. No, I'm just kidding.
Not that point. Yeah. Didn't actually go quite like that.
We met online also, and I made fun of a photo she had because I thought she was just too young and pretty for me. So I figured, oh, what the heck, I'm just going to go there. And I made fun of her, and she was like, I like this.
That's awesome.
All right, so come back to the van. Those little pieces.
Oh yeah,
the wood.
Yeah. So Finn wants me to do that with the little discs, the little wood discs, for something else that we're doing. What did you use to cut all those?
We used this saw that was like really strong and powerful, and it was actually kind of scary because the sticks are like really small. So when you're using it, it's so powerful, and sometimes the whole stick flies off. So I don't know if that's the best option, but I think if you saw it, it wouldn't look as nice. So that's why we kept using that like really powerful saw. I don't know what it's called.
I feel like a drop saw would be the best way to do it, and use a clamp.
Is it a miter saw?
Yeah, like the one that like actually like drops down. I would use that, but probably clamp the wood in because holding it probably be a little bit scary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the reason I'm asking that, I started using our miter saw, and it did exactly what you said.
Yeah,
it's really scary.
I'd kill myself if I said if I'm going to have to cut thousands of these, hundreds of these things, I'm going to kill myself before the day's over. And so good idea of clamping it down. Okay. Great.
And since you both start with have your individual van, is it a big adjustment that you have to live together in just one van?
I think because we lived in separate vans already, we know what van life's like. So then living together is like a tiny adjustment. But if we both lived in a house and then just lived in a van together, it'd be like, whoa, you're in my space.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's how it was with us at first. You know, we went from like 2,500 plus a 900 attached apartment. So like over 3,000 square foot to 300 square foot. And after about 6 months, she was pricing shovels in plastic bags on Amazon. Yeah.
So how long have you guys been traveled together in this van?
12 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been in here for a year, just maybe like almost a year.
Almost
very,
a year,
very close.
yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah,
so
we had like the two vans, but we didn't even sleep in my van once. It was always Nikki's van because it was so much nicer. My van was like kind of a half-finished project when we met.
Okay.
So what do you do with parking usually when you travel? Where do you park? Like you boondocking somewhere, or you usually go and park at the some other places? You just give us some tips for people who travel.
Yeah, so we used to have iOverlander a lot because we traveled in the States all winter, and that was like our savior basically. We would try to do like the national forest down there you could park for free, and then BLM land, so that was our number one. But sometimes we have to park in residential areas, which is why our van is so good because it's really stealthy. It just has like one window. So obviously the outside is kind of boring, but I would rather have a boring outside because then we've never gotten knocked on once because it's so boring outside. So that's good.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, fantastic. What's the the obvious question you probably get asked a lot? What's the best thing, the above all, like greatest thing about living your nomadic bus life as a couple?
I think that like having everything with you everywhere you go is pretty awesome, regardless what you're doing for work. But for us, it's also really handy as we're like taking photos for a living. It's like if you need a prop for something, you've already got it. You don't have to like drive home and get something to bring it back. Or if you need a tripod, you've got it. Like everything we need, we have here, and if we don't have it, we don't need it, basically. So it's really handy. I think that, and plus always having food is always good.
I would say
Gotcha.
complete freedom is awesome.
Right.
Other than
Very
right
good.
now, we feel restricted, obviously, right now because we want to be in the States because it's cold right now here. But freedom is awesome. Just like being able to go wherever you want, whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I agree with you on that one. All right. Thank you.
Wait, one last question. Because everybody wants to know this. What's the one thing like this sucks? Like what's the one thing that you just above board? Like, man, I wish there was a magic wand that I could just change this about van life.
So this happened actually yesterday.
Oh, okay.
When with the nature's toilet, you just forget like how full the pee jug is, and so many times I pee over the pee jug and there's pee everywhere on the ground, and I'm so over it. But it's happened like 5 times, I think.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
I would say the thing I wish I could undo is having the cupboard slightly overhang the bed. I smash my head on it nearly every morning. It's a real pain in the butt. So if anyone's watching and they're looking for van build designs, just bring your cupboard straight down. Cut your bed a little wide. Don't have it overhang. I feel like Harry Potter sometimes.
Good advice. I'm always complaining with all of our houses and stuff. She's like, I can fit in here. I'm like, you're 4'9", babe. You're 4'9".
I can fit anywhere.
But yeah, that nature's head thing, we need a light sensor, a buzzer or something when it gets like 3/4 of the way full. Yeah, that's yeah.
Just hook it
Been
up.
There,
on the phone as well.
does that.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Well, thank you all very much. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking
Awesome.
That's awesome.
and
don't forget, people, go follow them, Nikki Baker on Instagram. And Ben, what's your Instagram?
Ben War, but War is spelled like laugh with a W. Yeah,
Oh, right.
very good. N-W-A-U-G-H.
That's good to remember. Thank you.
Bye, folks. Thank you.
All right.
That was cool. So that was Nikki and Ben.
Okay, next we have Bon and Ben.
Forever Donna Club. Hi, Forever Donna Club. Hello. And a mega shout out to everyone from you, too.
All right. Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hi.
Hey,
Doing well. How are you?
All right.
So everything good? You can hear us?
You can hear us okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Molly and
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Awesome.
Molly and Ken.
So this is Molly and Ken.
All right. Okay.
Hey.
So
Thanks
these
so
two
much
have.
for having us.
Oh, thank you for being with us. These two have a very beautiful tiny house on wheel. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna go and tour with them right now. So the stage is yours. So just go ahead and go with the flow.
Do your thing.
Let's do our thing. All right, guys. How's it going? So we are.
No. We good?
Are we good? I think we're good. I think we're okay. We'll just go.
Showing me.
This is up real life. I think we're
Yep,
good.
we're good.
We're just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Well, we are full-time stationed here in Austin, Texas. We've lived in our tiny house for about 1.5 years now. It's crazy how fast time has flown by. But yeah, thanks for joining us today. We're excited to give everyone a tour. This is our living room. Nut Tucky is so proudly showing off. For those of you that were following from the beginning, we didn't always have an L-shaped couch. We had this little like sofa pull out, and we were so uncomfortable. It was like a little 2-seater sofa. We ended up finding this online, and hey, no, Tucky's just saying hello to everyone. Hush, 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 you sassy boy. But anyways, we didn't find this online. Got it custom ordered, and we freaking love this thing. Right above our our living room is Ken's shoe storage and our off-season clothing storage, and then our work bags, things like that. You access it from this ladder that goes just right up the wall, and you just move the bags out of the way, sit on the platform, and kind of get whatever you need. Or Ken will just step up here and grab whatever shoes he needs as well. And then we have a projector, and this guy will shoot onto, we have little hooks here and here, and we'll hook up our screen and pull it down and have a movie night or play Xbox or whatever it may be. And then in these two ottomans, we have games for game nights, and then we have additional bedding in case someone does end up crashing on the couch, which we've actually had his sister over last year, and then our friend Emily stayed over one night as well. That's about it for the living room. And then going into the kitchen area, we have the open shelves. Again, we're not mobile, so this is totally okay, but if we were traveling around the country right now, we would have to figure out a different solution. And then we keep all of our produce in these hanging baskets to keep things off of the shelves, or off of the counters, excuse me. And then each drawer kind of has its own function. These top two drawers here are like junk drawers. And then we have the trash bins down below with our vacuum. We have a 3-range cooktop from Furrion and a oven also from Furrion. We love them, but honestly, the only thing about this is we can't really use the middle cooking range because of how close these guys are together. So we typically just use these two. And then of course our vent hood to suck out any kind of smoke or fumes or whatever. And then of course the plant shelves. This is really what makes, I feel like, our space come alive, are our beautiful plants. We had a majority of these prior to us moving into the tiny home, and we couldn't part with them. They're like your children, so we had to find another solution for them and figure out where we could fit them. So we figured, why not? And actually we just watered them this morning. We get a lot of questions on how we do that. We posted a picture probably like 2 months ago on our Instagram on how we water our plants. I literally just go on this third step across, stand on the counter, and then I water them and kind of walk across. Our house has turned into a little bit of a jungle gym. And then, kind of coming through this way, we got our farmhouse sink, and then of course our faucet here that has a detachable vegetable sprayer. We don't have a dishwasher, and we honestly haven't had one in the past 2 places that Ken and I lived prior to the tiny house, so we're pretty used to doing dishes. We loathe it, but it's part of life. What can you say? Also some more plant babies hanging out, and then this is our roll-out pantry. This is probably the best $20 we've spent. We got it on Amazon, and it fits literally perfectly between the washer dryer and the countertop, and it has our dry goods on it, our baking stuff, and then cleaning supplies down below. And then we have a through-wall AC unit. I think that's really our only regret in the entire layout and option selection whenever we were going through with Mint Tiny, was that we wish we kind of would have done a mini split, because it directs the air a little bit better. It's a little bit more energy efficient and powerful. It does get really hot in the summers. Obviously, here in Texas, easily over 100 degrees 3 months out of the year. And with all the windows, we typically have to have the blinds drawn and not open how you see it now. So having a more powerful AC unit definitely would have come in handy. But, it is what it is. We make it work. We make it work. We pull the blinds down, and then sometimes we'll stuff Reflectix in the windows. But I'm going to grab the camera and hand it over to Ken.
What's up, everybody? So Molly kind of hit all the pinpoints from the living room to the kitchen, but I'm going to take over as far as the storage. So we have storage underneath these 3 stairs. More shoes. Molly's shoes. this small closet is where I have my hanging clothes for work, jeans, belts, hats. Here's Molly's closet. And what she does is seasonal. She changes out her clothes from up top in the above storage. And yeah, it's worked out just fine. And then right across from the full washer and dryer set, we do have a Whirlpool full-size fridge. So if you want to come around here, we have a bunch of tamales.
Yes.
And we just have, I mean, enough space for what we need here in the tiny full-size fridge here. Eat your vegetables. And then coming into probably the most important part in both of our opinions of the home, it's the bathroom. So here we have some cool Edison lights, but we have a full-size shower, also with a nice accent piece for, you know, rainfall shower head here. We also have shower seat.
That was a new addition.
New addition. And here we do have a flushable toilet since we are stationary. We did not have this originally. We had a composting toilet, but it wasn't really composting. So probably, I would say about 3 weeks in, we just went over to the local Home Depot and just bought this and did it ourselves. More storage here for our toiletries. I think this is really convenient. And then we also have a sauna. We had this prior to the tiny home and our other home that we lived in, and we just had to have it. So Mint Tiny, the builder that we went with, they were just kind enough to show us some measurements on how they can customize this bathroom to fit everything we wanted as far as the sauna, a full-size shower, toilet area, and also an area where we can get ready in the mornings. We do have a mirror with efficient cabinet space, underneath cabinet storage, sink, kind of small, but it works for us. And that's pretty much it for the bathroom. But I'm also going to hop into the sauna just to show you, how big it is. This is a 2-person sauna, and we also keep some weights here and just some more clothes storage for when we're not using the sauna.
Yeah, it's super easy. We just pull those bins out whenever we're ready to turn on the sauna. That just houses Ken's like shorts, t-shirts, underwear, socks. And then we just put the bins like somewhere in this general area. And then when we're done, we just slide it back in. And then that way he has easier access to his things.
This sauna is also Bluetooth compatible, and it's just great.
Yeah.
You also have your own little light show up there as well. But we're also going to make our way back and go up the stairs to the opposite side of another loft area that we have. This is where we sleep and where the magic happens. So right here is the loft area. This is a king-size bed that gives us about maybe 6 inches or so on each side, so about a foot of give, just to put anything like a phone charger, phones, things like that. Back here we wanted just a wood accent piece to kind of represent a headboard space. I think it's cool. This is not a real plant.
It's the only fake plant, guys. We're allowed to have one.
Only fake plant. But right around the corner here is where the dogs sleep as well.
Oh, look at Tucky again, modeling his bed.
And we also have a TV space to where we play Nintendo up here, watch Netflix, Hulu. That's about it. And also more plant babies to shield off, and shade up here for when it gets hot. But yeah. It's a great space up here, and we couldn't love it more. So.
Yeah, we get a really nice draft in the winter, fall, pretty much anytime besides summer. We'll open up all the windows in the house, open the skylights up, and it gets really breezy in here. We freaking love it. We have about 14 windows total in our tiny home. We love every single one of them, but like I said, in the summer, it gets a little toasty. So we actually are getting the blind guy to come back and add blinds to this window, and then the 3 skylights in the house to help out with the summer heat. And then I guess we'll show you just real quick outside. There's Melly, everyone. I know outside. We have a fan club for our dogs, so we have a grill. We got French doors entering the home. Don't mind the trash that we haven't taken to the dumpster yet. Got some plants, hammock swings. We always like to chill out here whenever it's nice weather. We'll have friends over. We'll pull out a couple extra chairs that are underneath. Light a fire.
This has been probably one of the best additions. Just having this little mini fire pit here.
Yeah, it's great.
We don't cook food on it. It's just for fires and friends when it's a cool night.
And for those of you that ask, we do live in an RV park here in Austin. We don't live on any kind of land that we own, or nor do we rent any land or property. We are here in an RV park, and honestly, it's been pretty great. There's quite a few RV parks in Austin that do allow tiny houses, and as you can see, there's a few throughout the neighborhood. So yeah, it's been wonderful. It's been here the entire time. Come on, Mama, inside. But yeah, I guess we'll, and this is, we can't forget, this is the dog corner, where they have their toys, their food, water, yoga mats for us. And then we have our heaters down here, and then there's one in the bathroom. But I guess we'll open it up for questions.
All right, we are back. Uh-oh. Are you guys still here?
Are you still there?
I can hear you. Just static. Molly, Ken.
Can you see us okay?
It's the screen is
It's staticky,
freezing.
and the screen is frozen, and it's a little staticky.
Molly. All right, okay. We are going to fix Molly.
We got the tour done perfectly.
Okay, we're gonna pull Molly and Ken back in a second. For now, while we try to get this started.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna let the boys of Thunder get in here. Alex Eves and.
Selfie stick time. I got like blue in my hand the whole time. I just strangled a Smurf. We're talking about possibly giving a name.
Buford.
To this guy back here. Maybe they can name him for us. I guess we're starting.
Are we starting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're here to talk about a project we collectively worked on that I don't live in it, but Alex lives in it, and this is something that's part of Ricola. The Box Truck Film. BoxTruckFilm.com for information on that. We want to talk to you guys about architectural salvage, reuse, repurposing. If that doesn't sound cool to you, because some people are into the whole tree hugging thing, let's put it this way. By going down these avenues of reuse, you can save a ton of money. Mm-hmm. If you don't like saving money, there's something seriously wrong with you. While adding some character, some fun, some individuality to things, yeah.
I was traveling around the country. I made a documentary about reusing. Reusing is my passion and my expertise. And I just wanted to create a better way to showcase the reuse lifestyle, how you can live day to day with reuse in mind. So I had become friends with this gentleman over here, tiny house expert, if you will, and we collaborated and built this sucker out. It is a decommissioned 17-foot U-Haul, but is now a 98 square foot tiny house made 99.73% used materials. The only new things that went into this build were spray foam for this crazy window right here, certain specialty screws, the rubberized paint for the bathroom, and the caulking.
Show them what's going on.
So this is my home. It's the quarantine status of the home. I don't usually have as much stuff out, but you know, for example, I have this long table here set up, which is not normally how I roll. It cuts off a little space, but I've been working on some crafts, making some pins. reused pins. I'm taking.
Oh, is Viagra there?
No, that's how I store the pins.
Yeah.
Watching movies in here with my projector.
Just point out a couple cool elements because I don't want to spoil it all because in the film we get really into depth about how we did this.
Skate truck, door handle, and then the other side, of course, skate wheel.
Yeah, pretty cool. Indicative of his.
This is the one everybody loves.
Interests.
It's there's dirty dishes. I apologize. Lobster pot turned into the kitchen sink. This is another fan favorite here. We got the ladder and pieces of your fence that was right over there.
Yeah, and this ladder was from an old theater built in 1929 in my town, or he lives here now, so our town, I guess you could say.
What's one of your favorites?
My favorites? I like this. I'm big into dumpster diving. This was rescued from a dumpster. It was going to be headed for one. It's an old, maybe turn of the century.
Early 1900s canning cupboard.
Canning cupboard with the vents in the back, and it was busted up a little bit. It was fixed. It was painted. Is it clean in there?
It's pretty clean. It holds
an inflatable mannequin pops out.
Wardrobe.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Like storage, canning cupboard. Oh, here's where I can shamelessly plug my new book. Is it in there?
Oh, of course. Hello.
So this is the newest book I put out based on livable tiny houses.
What page?
Micro living.
270, I think.
Oh, that's right. So the box truck. This is weird. We get cause a rip in the space-time continuum. But the truck we're in is featured in this book as well.
We can't forget that this is not only a couch and a second bed, but it's
a coffin.
Holds hundreds and hundreds of Stay Vocal shirts. And here's where our collaborations keep going. Deke designed this t-shirt for my company, Stay Vocal. I print only on rescued shirts, so these were brand new shirts that were going to be discarded and then just gave it a second life. StayVocal.com.
RelaxShacks.com. Check out my book. Got a workshop coming up near Joshua Tree in November. And
head over to alexeves.com and you can see all the things I'm working on. You can watch my documentary, the first one, Reuse Because You Can't Recycle the Planet, totally free now on YouTube. Just go over to alexeves.com. The link is right there.
All right, we'll see you guys at the next event.
We're back. I'm just answering your question.
And Deke. And also, if you use this coupon code right now, is May No Ship. Oh, so that means you don't have to pay for shipping. If you go to Stay Vocal, www.stayvocal.com, and that is Alex Eve. Those cool t-shirt that's he recycling and not recycling. No, he reused.
Repurposing. Can you say the name? Just the name of his website again?
www.stayvocal.com, and you can use this code so you can receive free shipping through May 31st. So the code is May No Ship. That's easy.
Are you shipping us?
Say it.
Stayvocal.com. www.stayvocal.com.
The code.
Oh, May No Ship.
Very good. That's it. So you know what? Now we have Molly and Ken's back. So we're gonna go Q&A with them right now.
Okay, so Molly and Ken's back for the Q&A.
Hey guys, welcome back. Yay!
Yay! All right, Molly and Ken's back. All right.
Okay, I have a question. Your sauna. Who came up with that idea?
Well, we both wanted it. We just started doing research about it probably 3 years ago, and we pulled the trigger probably how long ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah, two and a half years ago, and it's just been great as far as health benefits, and yeah, we love it.
Yeah, Ken came up with the initial idea. He's like, babe, infrared saunas, we should look into them, because he saunas all the time at 24-hour. And I was like, well, I mean, not a bad idea. So yeah, we pulled the trigger, we bought one, and it came with us.
I like the accent you just used for Ken's voice. That was nice.
Like personality, Ken.
Yeah. The way you just personalized it for Ken. That was nice. We have sauna too. It's called sitting in our pickup truck out in the middle of the Walmart parking lot in the middle of summer. So anyway,
Cool.
Yeah, we can relate to that one too.
yeah. So somebody asked, now where are you parked now? Like, are you in an RV? I mean, you're in Texas, but are you like in an RV park? Or are you on your own land? Where are you parked at? Can you describe what type of location you're at?
So we are in an RV park in the Austin corridor,
Right.
and it's a smaller RV park. We toured around to a few different ones, and to kind of get the feel, and we decided on this one based off of the location to the downtown area where our friends live, and then of course where we have to commute to work. This one just made the most sense for us. But there are quite a few areas in the Austin that are tiny home friendly. You just have to find the right one that fits you.
Right. And somebody more specifically asked, let me find it. How expensive is it for to park RV full time? I answered them, hey, it depends where you're at and what's being offered. But do you all mind sharing what it costs for the particular park you're at and what is offered, what amenities are included?
Sure. So here it's $500 a month for the lot, and it includes electricity, water, internet. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to pay for water. It's great. Free internet is great too as well. And
the only thing we have to pay for is electricity.
Just the utility.
Yeah, electricity, and then the spot. But they can range kind of all over Austin. This one was on the lower price range, and then there's some there's a KOA not too far from here that we looked into that was like $750 a month plus water plus electricity, and that just didn't make financial sense because we do finance our tiny home, so we had to take that into consideration as well. We wanted this to still be a money saving move for us, and if we start getting too expensive per month, then it wouldn't have any financial sense. Yeah, but amenity wise, there really aren't any. There's a laundromat here, but we have our own
full size washer and dryer.
Yeah, it's just a place to park, and we've met our neighbor right next to us. She's super nice from California, and yeah, just
nice. Is the electricity, is it a shared bill, meaning like, hey, there's they just come up with a monthly figure? Is it a set fee, or do you have your own meter for your pad?
We have our own meter. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Oh, real nice. Real nice.
Convenient.
What? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying it's convenient.
Yeah. I like that. The shared thing. Hey, there's 52 slips and the bill was $20,000 this month. Everybody pays this. That would not rock my boat too well. If you could change one thing, either about your house or just about your whole living situation, and still stay tiny, unless not. But if you could change one thing, like poof, magic wand it, and it changes, what would you say individually or as a couple? What would you like that to be?
Probably for me, changing the cooktop. We cook a lot, and we feel like the middle burner is only used for a griddle, so we only really have 2 spots to really cook stuff up at once. So I don't know, maybe having a 4 burner would be essential.
Better space.
Just better spacing.
My only gripe with the house is the AC unit. Again, like I kind of mentioned earlier, I wish we would have spent a little extra money on the mini split, but everything else layout wise, we built this house custom to fit our needs, and so it functions really, really well for us. We're able to entertain here fairly easily, and do like to have friends over often, and that was a really important thing for us whenever we were designing the home, to make sure everyone could be comfortable. And of course the dogs have enough room. But yeah, just the AC unit, and then I guess the cooktop.
Okay. Let me see. We got anything else here? Nope. So, do we have somebody in the queue?
Yes, we have.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say before
how do people follow your journey? Do you have Instagram, Facebook?
So Yes, we are on Instagram. Our handle is Born, BORN, and Bound.
Okay.
And then that's all. You can also find us on YouTube. We are awful at YouTube, but we're definitely going to get better at it. We are in the process, I promise people, of editing our YouTube video, and we'll be posting it very soon. But I do want to just say a quick note for those of you that are interested in tiny house living. And the next month or two, Ken and I are actually putting our tiny house up for sale. So if there's anyone in the market and is interested, we are reducing our footprint a little bit more, and we are sharing, or we're saving that kind of news for a YouTube video on what we're going to be moving into. But we are ready to kind of take that next step.
Cool. So you're upgrading to a smaller space. Is that what you're saying? You're upgrading to a smaller space?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Very good. Is the sauna going to go with you?
No, unfortunately not. We're gonna sell.
It's gonna go with the house.
Yeah, this house will be as is, minus the plants. Y'all can't take my plants. Sorry. Everything else.
Well, just find a blacktop Walmart parking lot in July, and just go there and roll up the windows. And
that's only your sauna.
You can sauna out all day long.
Don't listen. Please don't listen to him. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Molly.
Thank you very much.
For
We
being
appreciate
us
it
today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all
and
take care.
People, go and follow them. Born and Bound.
Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks so
Take
much.
care.
Take care. Bye.
Okay. Woo! That is a beautiful house. I love the sauna. And
That was a
tiny
beautiful house. That was
I love
awesome.
it. All right, okay, you know what?
And they're going smaller.
I know. I've been sitting here for a while. I think it's time now for everybody to get up and
You want to do some yoga?
some stretching. Yes.
You want to stretch a little? All right, so we're going to take a few minute break here, and we're going to do a little bit of yoga. And where is this coming from?
Come from Paul, Van Light Yoga.
For joining me today, and thank you to John and Finn for inviting me from United Tiny House. I'm so stoked to be here with you all. My name's Paul from Van Life Yoga, at Van Life Yoga on Instagram, and I travel the country in my converted Sprinter van with my golden retriever Solaris, teaching donation yoga classes. We have a short time together today, so let's get right into it. We're going to do a headstand tutorial. So a few things before we go upside down. The first thing is, please don't ever jump or kick into headstand. The neck is involved in headstand, so jumping or kicking really is not the safest way to get into it. I'll show you a good, safe way to get in. The second thing is finding the crown of the head. That's what's going to be pushing down into the mat. Sometimes people think that there should be a gap between the crown of the head and the mat, but when you progress into other variations of headstand, for example tripod headstand, your head is pushing into the mat, so it's good to strengthen the neck muscles in the supported headstand. Now, finding the crown of the head, it's not in the front, it's not in the back, it's not on the sides, it's the top. So if you wear over the ear headphones, that band that goes on the top. Some people do the thumb and the middle finger on the nose, and that finds the crown, but it's the top of your head. So take a minute, feel that out, touch it, so you know where it is. The second thing is the setup. We want to have a triangle with our arms, and there are different positions for the hands, basketing, putting the palms together. For our purpose today, we are going to keep straight lines. Straight lines are strong lines, so keep a gap in between your palms, one straight line through the hand into the elbow. Let's get into it. Come into Vajrasana, sit down on the heels, grab opposite biceps, place the elbows down in front of the knees, as close to the knees as possible. I haven't done my morning practice yet, so I'm going to keep mine a little bit further out for right now. Bring the hands out and together to form your triangle. Keep the palms separated a bit for those straight, strong lines. Look in between the forearms, find the middle spot. That's where the crown of the head is going to go. So tuck the chin, place the crown of the head in that spot. Adjust as needed. Start to push down into the top of the feet and straighten the legs. Now, you can have your feet tucked or your toes tucked or untucked here. If this is good, if this is where you want to go today, that's perfectly fine. Maybe you can start to walk the feet in, shifting the hips over the shoulders. You can have a bend in the knees here. Maybe you can take one foot up and the other foot. And if you want to keep playing with this, that's totally acceptable. And also, we don't want to dump down into the shoulders, so make sure that we're pushing the shoulders and the forearms into the mat. If you feel comfortable here, take one foot up, and then the other. And now we're in this little egg like shape. Staying here is also perfectly fine. If you feel good, push the ground away more, slowly, slowly. Start to lift the feet towards the sky. Pushing the forearms and the crown of the head down into the mat while reaching up with the toes, creating opposite forces. Stay here and breathe. And when you're ready, slowly bend the knees, start to come back down to earth as you came in. Push back into child's pose. Take a few breaths here to recalibrate. And come back up. So that's your headstand tutorial. Thank you again so much for being here with me today. If you want to follow along on my journey, we're at a house right now because of this whole corona thing, but we are hitting the road again this week, so we're super stoked about that. At Van Life Yoga, vanlifeyoga.com. Thank you again to United Tiny House. We'll see you out on the road. Peace.
Hey United Tiny House, this is Natalie and Malcolm McRae.
And welcome to our bus pollination station. Check out this quick video of our bus build.
In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the right.
Turn right.
Is that her?
Yeah.
Look at her. It's time for wine. Oh, that's perfect. Can we leave that? Wow.
Oh my God.
Already.
This is my wife, Natalie McRae.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
And this is my dad, Pops. So could you tell them a little bit about the bus, about how you said you drove it from California?
I bought this bus in Oakland, California last year. Me and a buddy of mine flew out and brought it back. When I got it, it had been tagged all down the side from about right there all the way back. I got most of the tag off. And if it would look better, I would have just covered it up or just kept it. But I didn't want a rival gang coming by and shooting me.
Right.
So I got rid of it. Run like a top. I mean, we come up over Donner Pass, Immigrant, over the Sisters, 71 mile an hour in a left lane and still had a lot of throttle. I run it hard. I didn't show it any mercy. I figured, you know, if it breaks down, I'll leave it on the side of the road. And I wouldn't be afraid to get back in it and go right back to California right now. Not even, wouldn't even blink. I bought this from an 80-some-year-old man that had 3 of them. And he was retiring. He just couldn't do it anymore. About it is, you go find a 1980 stick and staple mobile home.
Yeah.
Camper RV that looks half as decent as this for 37 years old. You're not going to find it. You know, they're made out of sticks and staples. This is aluminum and steel. You know, this bus will last another 20 years.
At least. Alright guys, we're working on the top shelves that are going to go all the way across. As you can see, pretty much got a 2x4 at the top, 2x4 base. And we're just kind of building the rest of the little support arms. Dad over here knocking it out. It's coming along really well. Water. Yes. We officially have water on the bus, guys. So guys, real quick, we're going to go ahead and break down a couple of different sections of the bus and why we decided to build the bus in the way that we've done. I'm an artist, author, and speaker, so a lot of the way that we create the bus was to be able to make sure that I can create art while I'm on the road as well. So I do graphic design work and also digital and fine print. And we wanted to be able to make sure that the bus had a nice flow, nothing to be able to stop the flow of the bus. And then also, as an artist and a creative individual, I had to have an art table, right? So this is like my portable art table. It flips down and flips up. I'm able to kind of do a lot of my matting on my art, work on different kind of pieces of creativity, and then do a lot of framing of our work as well. Plus, I do all of my graphic and digital work as well right here. And this is an incredible view, right? We have the front couch kind of like area. This is actually like a storage unit that we use to be able to store things, and we have another kind of like couch kind of set up that's a really comfortable futon, kind of low to the floor, kind of like style. So keeping everything kind of very comfortable and cool to be usable. On this side, this is where I do a lot of my business and graphic design. I'm doing some editing right now. We built these storage units, and this is I get one storage unit, guys. One storage unit for all of my stuff. My wife only gives me one. And so I got my my digital Mac Mini and flat screen TV. So as I said, if I'm doing invoicing with clients, if I'm working on editing footage, this is kind of like my creative space. These also flip down. Probably about 75 to 80% of the bus is like recyclable materials that we found. So this was an old table that we found at an antique store. We cut it up, and my wife repurposed it, and then we was able to put some hinges on it so it flips up and flips down. So just these unique things to be able to make the bus ours.
This is the bedroom. We also have a lot of storage underneath the bed. It flips up, and this is where we're able to keep a lot of our clothes and all of our laundry, so it keeps it nice and organized in here. Now we're going to come up to the bathroom. Welcome to the bathroom. We have a full shower in here. We did with corrugated metal. Little window to let some light in. New toilet. Little medicine cabinet. Got everything we need. Hey guys, welcome to our kitchen. I really pulled for a big kitchen in the bus because I love to cook, and so I was able to get my full kitchen, double sink. This is our stove top here. Got a 4-burner Magic Chef with the oven, so that definitely comes in handy. I love our wood floors in the bus. It's really easy to keep clean, and I'm really enjoying that as well. Make it stay warm in here. And we have our fridge, high efficiency fridge. And we have all we need. We have all this storage up here for our dishes, for our boxed food, all kind of goodies in here. So we have more than enough room. I have storage underneath here, both sides of the sink. So we have everything we need in our little tiny bus. I do sew. I'm a designer, but I also make jewelry. I sell all natural beauty products, and so most of it is small enough that I can work on it here on the bus, whether it's beading, barefoot sandals, or making these smudge fans. And we use all natural products, so the mango butter, shea butter, and black soap is definitely a must, especially while we're on the road. And it's all for purchase. So we love to travel, we love to meet new people, and the bus gives us a way to be able to display our art and sell it while we're on the road. So it's great to have such a flexible and versatile space to call home.
All right, guys, thanks for enjoying and coming and seeing our incredible bus and taking the incredible tour. Hey, this bus is a great inspiration. Pollination Station is built around using Mother Nature as a blueprint to pollinate the world with creativity and love. So our motto is to create, share, grow. So go to our website. Definitely support us. When you support our art, you support our movement. PollinationWorldwide.com. Definitely go to Instagram and Facebook. Join our movement, Pollination Station Art Bus. It's your boy Malcolm Airbrush Assassin McCray. Keep living, creating, and inspiring.
Wow, he is one talented artist there. Thank you, Malcolm. So
wow, that was incredible. That was really amazing. So so we have the volume on. Really sorry about that. We had the mute button on that whole time.
It's me. All right, okay, so we have another issue on the connection again, so we have to kill this broadcast, but we're gonna hop on to the next one. So this broadcast is end, but you can still, watch it later. So we're gonna hop on to the next one so we can see Malcolm, and Malcolm can come and see us.
And the head that you saw popping in here when we had the mute on, we didn't realize it. That's Chris Shaptic